Looks like MSC will very soon be sailing from the Port of Los Angeles, which is probably good news for those of us here in Southern California. I live in San Diego because it's pretty convenient. This would be the first time that MSC has been operating out of a West Coast port. They haven't announced it yet. But we're going with the schedule from the Port of Los Angeles, and we have to give credit where credit is due. This is Cruise Critic, and you can see, this is where I heard about it, frankly. Cruising 89143 has a post mentioning that Bellissima is starting to sail out of the Port of Los Angeles in fall of 2025. Now let's just go ahead and take a look at that schedule. And this is the 2025 schedule out of Los Angeles, and we'll just kind of scroll down to where it begins. I think it's October 4th, if I remember right. So here we go, October 4th, and you can see if you go along the left-hand side, you'll see starting in October, Viking Sea, Quantum, Navigator, Royal Princess, and then on 10/4 you have MSC Bellissima. And we've been on Bellissima before, and we thought it was very nice. MSC, I like the cruise line. I hear mixed things about them sometimes. Their shoreside customer service can be a little bit shaky. The ships themselves are very nice, in my opinion, and Bellissima is very nice. Sometimes I hear complaints about the food. I actually kind of like the food, so, it's a personal preference thing, but it looks like they're going to go head-to-head with some of the other cruise lines sailing out of L.A. I know Princess sailed. Well, you can see it right there. Princess, Royal Caribbean, all the biggies do it. Now it looks like MSC too. So starting on 10/4, we'll just kind of scroll forward a little bit, and then you'll see in the first part of this page 10/11, and that's just going to continue. 10/18, 10/25, 11/1, etc. And so it looks like it's a regular 7-day sailing out of Los Angeles. Now, they haven't announced this, and we don't know for sure where they're going, but it's a pretty good bet it'll be to Mexico. And the usual 7-day itinerary into Mexico would be something like Los Angeles to, Puerto Vallarta to Cabo San Lucas, maybe Mazatlan. Sometimes they throw a little twist in there, but that's pretty typical. So I think that's kind of cool. Again, MSC is a good value for the money, in my opinion. I mean, there are some cruise lines that are maybe a little bit nicer, maybe Celebrity's a little nicer, but MSC has a beautiful ship. I think their food has been consistent. I've also sailed a fair amount on Celebrity. I find that their food quality has gone down quite a bit. So, this will give you another option. And, Carnival does a lot of these sailings too, out of Long Beach, actually. I'm not a huge fan of Carnival. I would take MSC over Carnival personally, but I'm sure there's people that feel differently. So anyway, I guess I'll wrap this up. So once again, I'd love to tell you that I found this, but I didn't. But anyway, since it's being discussed on some of the cruise forums, I thought I'd go ahead and share that. MSC hasn't announced it, so maybe we're announcing it, right? They're on the schedule. It looks like they're sailing out of Los Angeles. So that's all I've got. Appreciate your time. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those in the remarks section here on YouTube. And hey, that's exciting. MSC out of Los Angeles. What's next is probably Alaska. That hasn't been announced yet, but if they're going to LA, I would guess that would be their next move. Bye-bye.